my experiences in life, I've encountered a lot of adversity. I've endured a lot of opposition. I've made a lot of enemies. But the greatest enemy that I've ever made was the enemy within myself. I thought that the people that I encountered in my life that stabbed me in my back was something that they did wrong. It was something that I did wrong. I allowed them around me. I continued to placate to their friendships and to these false notions of camaraderie. And yet I still don't consider them an enemy. I have friends and family members who have turned on me, who've misused me, who's neglected me. And I still can't consider them an enemy. Only because whatever they did to me wasn't worse than what I did to myself. I'm my biggest enemy. When you consider what an enemy is, it's somebody that directly opposes you, that creates adverse conditions in your life, that doesn't want to see you succeed, that preys on your failures.
I don't even know what that was.
That go enemy.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Speaking of enemies,
I wish I would have knew you was here. I would have came so I could heckle you.
speaking of enemies, oh man,
Still got a little time, though.
befitting the moment. Befitting the moment. When you speak of enemies, they just get to walking in. In comparison to the harm that I did to myself, there's no greater or no worse enemy than myself. I counted me out. I allowed insecurities, trauma, and everything else to create an adversity in my mentality. See, there's something debilitating about when you become your own worst enemy. You see everybody else as opposition. When you don't love yourself, it's impossible for you to be able to give something as love to someone else. Right? My whole life in this mentality of being a gangbanger, I figured I could be a good brother to these dudes. How can you become a good brother to someone before you become a good man to yourself? How can you become great in a relationship when you haven't determined what it takes to build self up? All my life, I've been chasing the wrong paradigm. I've been chasing the wrong script of what life should be. I didn't know that everything that I wanted to be, those tools already existed in me. I just didn't know how to extract them. I knew that they existed. I didn't know how to pull them out. When you're your own worst enemy, you can't see good in others because you're drowning by your own bitterness and you're drowning by your own sorrow. When you're your own enemy, you can't pray for the success of others because you feel that your prosperity is too far away. When you're your own enemy, it's hard to love someone else when you're not able to love yourself because you're your own worst enemy. No one else has to come into our lives to oppose us. No one else has to come into our lives to be our adversity. We do that job well enough for us.
Yeah.
When we fall, we don't have to wait for no one to kick us while we down. We beat ourselves up even more. I once read a quote that said the first law of holes is once you get in one, stop digging. But every time that I found myself in one, I grabbed a bigger shovel. That's because I didn't understand that when I got in that hole, it just keeps going deeper and deeper the more I dig. And I keep removing myself far away from the surface the more and more I dig, to the point to where I almost forgot what it felt like to be out of a hole. I had become comfortable and accustomed to a hole. It's easy down there. It's comfort down there. There's no responsibilities down there. I was able to just wallow in my own misery. They say misery loves company. It's true. That's true. When you're your own worst enemy. There's nothing more of a gratifying feeling when you're your own worst enemy to hear the pain and the sorrow of everybody else. But a person that gives you life, that breathes life into you, will not allow you to stand in your own destruction. We all have goals, we all have dreams, but it takes a special group of people, our type of people, to be able to blow life into it.